hometown on the way down there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if you like sushi, and if you like some sushi, I'll take you. I'll give you a good place to go.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
well,
a
that's
place
pretty
called
cool.
Kampai. Yeah, it's a place called Kampai, and you could
Oh,
actually,
wow.
yeah, you could actually mention my name. They should know me. They'll take care of you
Huh?
good. Yeah.
You sure they won't charge me double? Not just
No,
joking. I'm just
just tell
joking.
them. Just tell them Baldelicious was there. Asked about you. If you
All right, we got a couple of our people back that was on the other chat podcast. So, well, for those who made it over here so far, hey, we got everything squared away. So, all right, feel free to share this. All right, Donald's here, and Rob C is here. Dinobot and J Lo is here. Cool.
I'm
All right.
reposting the new link.
Oh, okay, cool. Maybe I should do the same thing. Hit share. Says we got 7 viewers at the moment, from what I just saw. All right.
Okay, I hit Squatch Watchers and Bigfoot Odyssey. We'll see.
All right. Cool.
And mine.
Well, I had a couple links in the other one. I didn't have time to go through and try to put them on
Yeah.
this one. I wasn't doing that. That would have took a little longer. So, all right, great. Buck Nye is on here. So cool.
Oh, Buck. I love Buck.
So, well, I'll tell you what. For those, do a quick recap. I was given a short promo, um, giving a brief advertisement of what's going on here in a couple of weeks in here in Virginia. Everybody is welcome. It's an event that's open to the public. There is ticket sales. There's deals that are at the door. So if you don't buy tickets online, you could get squared away at the door. Um, and this is happening June 29th in Waynesboro, Virginia. Here is the address. The address is 109 Apple Tree Lane, Waynesboro, Virginia. And the location is the Best Western Plus, right next to Cracker Barrel. So, and also what's happening right after the event, starting July 1st through July 6th, we are having a week long Bigfoot camp out. So anybody that wants to participate in that is more than welcome. I think we are expecting a decent group coming out this year with that. So, um, all right. Then we got. Let's see. We did have a question on here. Um, this is actually a very interesting question. If I'm reading it right here, Dinobot's asking, "What cryptids do you guys?" I guess he meant to think. Is the one most full of crap?
What? Oh, God.
I don't know if he means which one's out of all the cryptids, which one do we think is BS? I think.
Yeah, I think that's what he means.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Well, didn't
Shoot.
you say you didn't like Dogman?
Yeah, I'm racist against Dogman. Oh Lord.
That's a little bit of an inside joke. Sorry, folks. But
some of you,
some of
some
you
of you
might
guys
get
might
it.
know. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, oh, what do I think is not true? I think,
Oh man, there's so many. What about like Lizard Man? There's so many Goat Man. I mean, there's so many different
yeah,
weird
yeah.
cryptids out there.
The lizard man would probably be pretty high on my list. I don't. Although, I mean, because I think, do you remember that one video, that lady who showed her car all chewed up in the front?
yeah.
Uh,
You know, something
I'm not
did that.
sure.
I mean, do you really think a dog, even really pissed off big dog, could do that to a car? I mean, I
I've
don't
heard.
know.
I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but for a canine to destroy a car, like
Well,
I
it
don't see that
actually
being possible.
penetrating. It actually penetrated the bumper and part of the rim of the above the tire.
Was there claw marks on
Um,
the vehicle?
no, they looked like teeth marks, just
Really?
punched holes all the way around, and then it was kind of lifted up. Yeah.
And
Huh.
there was also a story about this person that was camping. He actually went to the woods and in North Carolina somewhere. I think it was in North or South Carolina where Lizard Man was at, and he heard some noise down the. So he actually heard some noise down where he was actually making this little camp, and he had a whip with him. And so he said this reptilian-looking creature came out of the woods and stuff, and so he was actually hitting it with a bullwhip, for you to try to get away from him and stuff. And the thing just came closer to her, grabbed the whip, and actually bit it, I guess. And he actually took off,
Mm.
and he actually went towards a road area. And he was a few hours later. It started being sunlight, and so he came in and got a ride from this Cherokee guy, and actually told him, what actually happened. He goes, "Well, you're lucky that you only saw one."
Wow.
Yeah, and there was also some other stories like that. About that there were a lady actually was said that there was like a lizard man looking creature that was trying to get into her house, and then the authorities were called, and they basically told her for her to hush hush about it. So that
Wow.
I heard stories like that. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that we don't know about. Uh, so it's
Um,
good. Yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
oh no, I was just gonna make mention. Hold on, I'm getting feedback here. All right, all right. Regarding what Nikki brought up about the car, Dinobot. Oh, okay, she already seen it, but I'm gonna read it anyway. He says, "I think I know what Nikki's talking about, and I think it was confirmed to be just someone with a drill, just damaging the car, her car." So,
But what if that means she was in on it? Because how could you sit in your house and not hear somebody drill 1,000 holes in your car? That's impossible.
well,
That would be impossible.
I can see where you're coming from. Depends how far away the car is from the house,
They no, they showed
and
the house. It was right there parked right in front, and it was not a big house.
right. Well, now think about you're familiar with hand drills like the battery powered drills and stuff like them. A
Yeah.
lot of them they're not loud. They're actually kind of quiet. You'll hear they make noise, but they're not like something to where they could wake somebody up at.
Going through
If
steel?
I'm just
Not no. I
well,
mean, the drill
think
may
about a
be
car.
quiet, but the steel would definitely, you'd get some noise. And I don't know, that
Now,
part doesn't I don't believe. And you got to consider this also took place what, 10, 15 years ago, so it's not recent.
right, but I'm saying like think about now the the type of car it is and the year of the car because the material, the metals and plastics of the car of the body of a car changed over the years. Your older cars are going to be a little bit more heavier duty. As far as like look at today's modern cars. Let me use a car I once had. It was a back in '98, right after graduation. I had a brand new 1998 two-door Chevy Cavalier, and one day when I came out of the grocery store, I noticed there was a dent in the fender, and I don't know how it happened. So it could have been the kids that were playing around in the parking lot might have dented it. But anyway, I got home and showed my father. I was like, "Dad, look at this crap." He went inside, grabbed a toilet bowl plunger, and popped it right out.
Oh,
Because the car they it wasn't a real metal. It was like
I,
I forget. I don't know what material it is, but a lot of cars are made with a hard fiberglass to a plastic base. I mean, So I mean, I think yeah, like I said, in the older cars used to have more steel, metal, and steel in them. So
See, I remember that. I remember that car as well. And if memory serves, that it actually had areas where the steel was actually lifted up. And if somebody's going to get a
oh
drill bit,
wow,
yeah, something. If somebody's going to get a drill bit, it's going to be totally different. Is
Punched. Yeah.
punch.
It's just gonna be
yeah,
punched.
Uh,
that
I'm
makes
a
sense.
yeah. I'm a the position the profession I do. I'm a maintenance man. And there's certain things, in order for me to make those indentations, everything like that, I would have to drill it with my drill, get my pliers, and lift it up a certain way. So, why?
Yeah,
I mean, why go through all that trouble? And
right.
when they actually interviewed the people, they were very, very, why call the news team if they're going to go over there and vandalize the car a certain way?
Yeah,
It was
true.
just an odd event, and there was no reason why they turned for no reason why the car turned out to be that way. So
Yeah.
like she said, like Nikki said, there was a whole bunch of holes in that car.
Hmm. Do you guys recall what state that might have been in?
Ooh, it was
I,
near a swampy area.
I'm gonna say
Oh,
Carolinas, the
Do you know
Carolinas.
Dino? Um,
hmm.
I wonder if I can find it real quick.
See, and we had I forgot who I was talking to. I forgot who I was talking to. I think Marcella earlier. And so we were talking about everything that happened strange in 1975. When we had the Lizard Man appear in 1975. I mean, we had here in South Texas, we had the Big Bird appear in 75. And there was some kind of liquid, strange liquid that fell from the sky that was real thick. I mean,
South Carolina.
yep.
Wow.
Put my picture up there. See the or
Oh, well, is that the car that we're talking about?
yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's chewed. And then there's a better picture of the holes. Let me see. Oh, here's the front part. Oh,
So hold on, hold on. Let me keep holding it up there. I'm gonna click on your picture because it won't show up full screen until I click on it. There we go. Okay, that's a what's that? A Dodge? I can't tell the symbol there. It's hard to tell from the shape, but
looks like a I don't know. What is that?
does it have a Ram on it? I couldn't tell what was
Yeah,
inside
it
the
it
ship.
looks like a ram.
Okay, it was yeah Dodge. Either that's a Dodge Neon or yeah, there might be a Dodge Neon. Hmm.
Let's see what the other if it shows
I,
the actual punches.
or or not a
The
Dodge Neon, a Dodge Intrepid or something. Yeah, they almost look like a Dodge Intrepid or Dodge Stratus. Yeah, could be a Dodge Neon, but I'm leaning more towards a Stratus or a Intrepid because I got some friends that huh.
let's see. Oh, there's the one I was thinking about. Hold on.
Oh, okay, like all those scratches or claw marks.
Yeah, and then well, they think it was teeth, but
Yeah,
could
because
be
right
anything.
below there on the edge right there, are those holes in there right there?
Yeah, all along
Ah,
that right there. Those are all holes.
now that's interesting.
And
Yeah,
then let me see. She shows a tire too, but I don't see anything on the tire. Oh,
huh.
here's the one with the bumper. I mean above the wheel rim.
Yeah, the wheel fender. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
So let's see. That's pretty much all the same. The
It
rest
looks
of them.
like it says a crypt. Yeah, it looks like it says a cryptid was here.
Hmm.
Jeff is asking, why does it matter what kind of vehicle it is? Well, it depends on the vehicle and the year, because it's depends on the
Oh,
metal, how easily it could have been scratched on the material that it was made from. I have my reasons for knowing.
oh, it won't let me click
Part of
on
investigating
anything.
and wanting to know something.
Oops. Oh,
Andrew said, why would it be attacking the front of the car in the first place?
they're all over. It's all the way around.
All
See,
the way
that's
around.
Yeah. It's all
yeah.
the worst damage is in the front and on that front tire rim, but all this way around there's bites. There's little or whatever it is all the way around.
See,
Huh.
that's one thing. That's one thing that puzzled me the whole time. Is why would they attack the car?
Why would they ruin their own car like that? Yeah, that's crazy. If it was a hoax, because it doesn't look that old.
Right. My thing
It's
is, yeah, I mean, yeah, why would anybody mess up their own car? Then again, I mean, it's not like they could get insurance, for the damages unless they have proof of what did it.
And then the thing
So,
is also with the creature and everything like that that actually did it. Why would it attack the car? It's not going to eat the car. You know,
right,
there's what is it going to do? Sharpen its teeth? There's no telling, what actually happened. That's what makes this thing so much of a mystery, and we just don't
right.
know the reason why.
mm.
Hmm. It's kind of like saying, what did that car ever do to you?
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Yes. Sometimes why has no answers. So
yeah.
It's not giving me the 30 years later man. It doesn't give me the actual date that it happened. It's before 2008 though.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of articles on it.
One thing
Oh,
I know
here it
one
is. Here
thing
it
that I.
is.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, before I go on.
1988. It happened June 29th, 1988.
1988.
Oh, wait, no. This says the first reported sighting of the Scarapi Ore creature. So maybe that's not it.
Hmm.
now, did any? I'm going to throw something out there. Have anybody seen a video that was dealing with some strange creature that people saw bouncing around pretty close to a cornfield area, and then all of a sudden go into the maybe like the size of a little child, and go inside the cornfield and just disappear in there.
Ooh,
And
children.
yeah, and it actually
Children
came
of the
out,
corn.
it actually came out yesterday on some news uh, place, and I don't know what state or anything. So it looked like a creature with a real funny head, and they actually saw it bouncing around, like dancing a certain way. And then,
Really?
yeah, yeah, a certain person told me this earlier today and wanted to know if I saw it on TV. I said, no, that's the first one on me, and I didn't know if anybody heard of that.
I
Not.
haven't.
Yeah, I'm totally unfamiliar with that myself. To be honest with you.
And then
You
I've been
said it
trying to,
can't.
excuse me.
I'm sorry. Oh no, I was just gonna ask you. You mentioned that it was on the news.
Yeah, that's what I heard, or something like that. Where
Recently?
yes, it happened yesterday. Well,
Oh,
well,
crap.
it was they showed it yesterday, but I don't know when the event actually happened.
Oh,
Uh,
okay,
so,
I got you.
so somebody went up there and actually said that they saw it on TV, and they were in the kitchen area, going back and forth in the kitchen area, and they would actually said that there was a group of people watching it, but it never showed his face. and then and it did, and it went straight into the cornfield, and then to the cornfields and just disappeared in there. So nobody knows what it was or anything.
Well, just a weird visual that I had. You not really getting a clear image of what that was, but if you ask me, that sounds kind of creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was it was kind of odd because there's sometimes this certain person doesn't get into paranormal stuff, UFO stuff, and everything like that. And they came up and said, "Hey, did you see that thing on TV?" And they basically talked about it. And apparently, they had a video or something like that of it. So I don't
Oh
know.
wow.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody heard of it or seen it because I've been trying to find it all day long and I cannot find it. I
Hey,
don't
I
even
don't
know
know.
the state.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I don't know if Jimmy is still on here, but maybe that's something Jimmy and Marcella could actually investigate since
Oh,
they
sure.
are they're leaning more towards the paranormal now for their shows. So that there would definitely be an interesting kind of fun topic to or subject to kind of look into and see what they can find.
Oh, definitely.
And then see if this was something that was filmed, then there's got to be witnesses,
Yes.
or a witness. So
Apparently, there were a few people there that actually saw it,
yeah.
but they actually couldn't see the face or anything like that. So it was kind of odd.
And
And
they couldn't find him after he walked in there?
what happened was they said it was like in a mist or something like that, and a fog or something like that. But they could actually tell it was something small, like a creature of some sort. And then people actually saw it, and I guess they were recorded it or something, and then just went straight to the cornfields.
Because sometime in April, the Border Patrol found a 3-year-old walking in a cornfield down here. Um,
Wow.
but they found him, he was just walking alone. So,
Huh. How far was he from home?
um, let, let me see. Parents were deported without their children or trying to re-enter the U.S. to reunite their families. 3-year-old crying in the Texas cornfield after he was likely abandoned by smugglers.
Oh wow, that's pitiful.
Uh, yeah. So,
Huh. Well, one thing I do want to bring up, 'cause, me and Baltimore, we were on the phone earlier today, and Baltimore, I was wondering if you could kind of recap on what you shared with me. I mean, unless you want to hold off on that for now.
No,
Do you?
no, no, this is perfect. It's a good opportunity for it. See,
Okay.
I'm going to start off and then, like rambling like I always do, and then drop the bombshell and stuff. Um,
Right.
yeah, but dealing the reasons what we do is try to get the educate the public out there, and let people be aware, not to be afraid to talk to us about their Bigfoot encounters or anything. It's because there's a lot of people out there that have Bigfoot encounters, but they don't know who to talk to. They can't confirm, consult their friends or anything like that because they're going to think that they're nuts or something. And that's why I have my Bigfoot research, B County Bigfoot research here in B County, like that. People can actually tell their stories and their encounter. At least somebody has an ear and listening to their Bigfoot stories. 3 years ago, there was this guy walking in the woods. So I don't know if he was hunting or I don't know what he was, but he was actually in the woods. And then so he heard something walking in the woods. So he takes out his cell phone and it says, "Oh, I'm going to take a video of this deer walking in the woods." So he heard it walk and everything like that. He said it sounded like a heavy foot. So he comes out there with his video with his cell phone and takes a video of this Bigfoot walking in the woods. So he told his friends about it and everything like that, and they ridiculed him. And he goes, "Oh, you want to be famous? Oh, that's fake," and all this other stuff. And it kind of made the guy feel bad about it. And so he just stopped telling people about his encounter. So I saw this guy. Well, actually, a friend of mine at the hardware store, So we were talking. The guy comes up and goes, "Oh, Baldy, have you seen Bigfoot or talked to anything going on with Bigfoot?" So there was another gentleman there that was actually going to my Bigfoot meeting as well. He kind of gave us a funny look. He goes, "Yeah, dude." He goes, "I actually had a Bigfoot encounter." I said, "Really?" He goes, "What happened?" And then he came up there and he said, "Well, I was in the woods, and Lord and behold, uh, I thought it was a deer, but it wasn't a deer. It turned out to be a Bigfoot." I said, "What happened with the video?" He goes, "Oh, I have it in one of my old phones." I said, "I want to see it." And that's how I told him, "Hey, look, here is my page. It's the B County Bigfoot Research Group. Contact me here, and like that we can get together, and I want to see what you got." So, so I kind of. The thing is, again, uh, people went up there and looked at it. He goes, "Oh, that's fake." And apparently, he got a pretty good shot at it, where with his phone, in order for them to make remarks like that. So,
Right.
yeah. The thing is, what gets me is Daniel, Nikki, is that there are so many people that have so many encounters and they don't know who to talk to or anything like that. Because, they can contact the game wardens because the game warden is going to say, "Oh, it's a figure of your imagination, or it's totally something different, or maybe you misidentified it," you know, and that's the very first thing. "Oh, are you sure what you saw?" Blah blah blah. Because nobody is going to actually say that there's a Bigfoot out there until you actually prove it. Until you have proof out there stating this is what we have out here, and then if this is what we have out here, let's warn the public. So.
Right. Yeah, and that video footage that I know that, like you mentioned, the guy was. Well, others were making mockery of him because apparently they seen the video
Right.
and and they were kind of like make a joke that's somebody in a suit, blah blah blah, and that's like I told you earlier. To me, if this guy's getting video footage and these guys are mocking it and saying that's somebody in a suit, but if this guy is sincere about this, unless somebody was hoaxing him, if he's got that good of a footage, that's something really worth wanting to see. You
Right.
know.
Now, let me tell you like this, Daniel. It's like I don't, Nikki. We live in two different parts of Texas. You live in the west side, and I live way down south, and they know what our temperature is like down here. Who's gonna be walking around down there with a suit, a thing like that? You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get shot. So you don't walk with stuff like that down the. Is shoot first and ask questions later. And but if they see something strange like
Everybody in
that,
Texas has a gun,
oh yeah,
or
oh
three
yeah.
or four or five.
And you know what? We're not afraid to use it, and we're not afraid to use it. But the thing is, what they also taught us about guns is you have to make sure that when you shoot something, you have to make sure what you're shooting at before you shoot it. You know.
Yep.
But the thing is, that was our safety course. It goes, if you're going to shoot it, you're going to eat it. Who's going to eat a Bigfoot? Who's going to eat a creature like that that's walking out there?
Right.
But the thing is, what gets me is that he has some other friends of his that actually had Bigfoot encounters, and I said, "Dude, call me. I want to hear it." He goes, "I don't care if it's 5, 10 years, 7 years. I don't care if your grandpa was a teenager and had an encounter with Bigfoot. I want to know about it." So,
Hmm. I just read a thing from Buck Nye. He said, "I have a story I never went public with. It's not easy to tell some things." Well, he knows, and that goes for anybody. There's people that listen. There's people that learn about our podcast. And they have seen something. We don't want you guys to be scared to share your information. If you don't want to go public to share it with everybody, but you feel like you need to get off your chest, people like Baltimore, Nikki, me. There's several others out there too, but we're all open ears or we're all open arms. We welcome information, and because some people are just unsure what they saw and need a little bit of enlightenment or enclosure, if that's the right way to put that. So,
See, it took
and plus
me.
by sharing the information, it may also give us something to compare if we've had some kind of experience or seen something similar to what someone else seen, and they want to know, that might, you know what I mean, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So,
See, it took me when I had my encounter. I contacted people from East Texas with the groups down over there, and nobody gave me a call. And that was one thing that was really frustrating. I would try to get people, I try to call them up, say, hey, there's something going on down over here in B County. There's something going on down here, and I want you to come over here and help me out because I know that there's something walking out here that I've seen, and I noticed certain patterns by the way this thing eats. Nobody has talked about the way that this Bigfoot eats, but me, dealing with all these certain bones that are scattered in a certain way. That's kind of weird. So but again, it took me a long time for me to talk to somebody, actually in the Bigfoot world that actually could say, hey, look, I know exactly what you're talking about. We had these experiences before. Where did you have them and all this other stuff. And then then I said, you know what? If nobody's going to do something about it, I'm going to do something about it. So and
right.
that we can come up there and say, hey, look, come talk to me about
Hmm. Nikki, is your TV in the same room you're in? Oh, okay. I see it flashing against the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And right now it's the photo shoot, and so you're seeing the flashing.
Ah, gotcha. um, yes, indeed. Dinobot's trying to tell Buck to tell it. He says, "Tell it, Buck. Take it from me. I shared it with these guys, and they didn't laugh at me with mine." And then J Lo said, "That's why we are all here, Buck." And Dinobot said, "What are you guys? What are your guys' thoughts on South American reports on Sasquatch-like creatures?" Well, South American reports. That's something very rare that I hear about. What about you guys down in South America?
Oh, that's a good one because there's a certain because down here in South Texas we have vaqueros, which are cowboys that are basically on those ranges, and down over there in South America they have a different type of cowboy, and they call it a different name of a cowboy. And don't let me, and I don't want to say any because I don't know their names or what they call themselves. These actually cowboys are the ones that actually live on the back of their horses and they work to certain cattle. And they've actually said that there's actually been Bigfoot creatures that they actually seen down there, and they call it a totally different name. But there's actually been a few creatures that they actually call, that they actually live down there. And then
Yeah,
also you have stories, a lot of stories from the people trying to come to the United States that actually said that they actually seen Bigfoot creatures walk, go across the Rio Grande River. There's a bunch of stories like that, and down over here, we call it Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and Native American names, whatever. There's no telling what they would call it down there in South America or basically in the Mexico area. So
I think those cowboys call themselves gauchos.
gauchos, there you go.
Hmm.
Yeah, gauchos.
But
well,
they
for
also believe in that the seventh son of a farmer can become a wolf man in certain times of the month.
well, as far as deeper down in South America, like such as Brazil, Chile, Peru. Peru's a good one. But Chile, I know there's a lot of those. There's a lot of jungle and stuff down there too. It's a very large continent, and I don't hear. I mean, I know there's got to be something down there. There's so much down there. It's just as big as if you ask me. I think it's just as big as the U.S. Right? I mean, um, Argentina. There's so much down that way. and yeah, Venezuela. So but I'm not gonna name them all. But down there, I don't.
There are
Just like we gotta
so
be.
many parts in
Oh
So,
yeah,
South America that haven't been even discovered
oh
or
yeah,
touched, and look how many creatures come out every year that are new species.
oh for
I
sure.
mean, granted, most of them are very small insect or the small mammal, but who knows? They
yeah.
still think, there's giant anacondas that are 26 foot and plus there.
I mean, yeah, Brazil is the largest part of the whole area down there. And then Chile is right on the very edge, lower left. It depends on how you're looking at it, but it's a whole long narrow strip. But Brazil itself, you know, it's very much dominates that South, the whole South America. Now, if we got, we're moving. Let's move on to the other side of the world. We got Australia. Now we got the Yowie. Um, that's a place I really want to get out there and visit. I know of a few people. I've actually been, asked to come out there by a couple different people, and I think that would be great if something like that. I definitely want to plan something for the future on that. Definitely would be great to get together with other Yowie, researchers and hunters out there, and get together with people that know the terrain and the dangers out there. Definitely would want to go out there with somebody experienced. And I know a few that know the woods and or the bush as they call
Hmm.
it. So, but
For
so
Danny, for me is that you know, uh, for me is that it's pretty. I heard of these Yowie stories and everything like that, which I think is pretty fascinating. And what gets me is how would a creature that big get to Australia since it's surrounded by water?
well, that's a good question. I mean, it's also um, it's a very large place too. They have several different time zones. Hmm. Let me.
Well, everything was connected way back when, so
Yeah,
who knows?
Well, it's like up in I'm gonna get this wrong. Um, there's one place they call or they named it Sasquatch Island up in what's up around Canada, is it? No, Alaska. Um, let's see. Yeah, but yeah, Baltimore does raise a good question here. Because I just pulled it up. I'm looking at something right here. And this is Australia, and surrounded by the Indian Ocean, the Coral Sea. But yeah, the closest landmass to Australia, just from this one image I'm looking at, would be, I don't even know I can't really see it clearly, but New Guinea.
right.
Yeah, then just northeast of there, you got Indonesia, uh, which there's been different. You have a different sighting. There is, in Indonesia. There's I forget the name that they have it there. Well, there is a Bigfoot creature there, but that is a good question. I'm scratching my head on that. But you like it, I mean, the United States, North America. Yeah, people want to know if a lot of people don't think Bigfoot was native here. And again, they have the barren land or land bridge theory. Well, when it was once connected and all that good stuff. But then again, it's just like anywhere you got animals in certain places that were always native to that area. So there's a chance that they were species. I mean, there's all these animals that are native there. I mean, Australia is known for um, what do you call them? Kangaroos. I mean, that's what they're known for. So it's not like they were native anywhere else. So it would only make sense that these are creatures that were already there that were native to that land. from the beginning. So that's the way I look at it. Just like like I said, talking about the theory of the barren land bridge. I mean, we have dinosaur fossils here. We're still discovering dinosaur fossils. There's so much different species of animals here, and I believe that they were just here to begin with. Maybe yeah, sure, some other species end up coming along here once the barren land bridge was connected so many thousands of years ago. So a lot of different ways to look at that. Let me get back to the YouTube channel here because I was pulling some stuff up, trying to look some stuff up here. All right. Hold on. Okay. J Lo said the chupacabra is running around in South America. Yeah, the chupacabra.
Yes.
Frank Lambert said I just got back from Katie's Cove, but didn't get an interaction with any burgers. He said he tried. J Lo said you should
Oh, I
have
just
brought that
remembered it.
dandelion wine with you. What's
The
that?
the South American one they call the Mapinguari. The Mapinguari.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Hmm. Dinobot on here is he's talking to you, Baltimore. He says, "Well, Baltimore, during the Ice Age, sea levels were much lower back then, which is why we have tigers on mainland Asia and some islands such as Java. The same thing could be said for the Yowie." He said so. Yeah, Bigfoot Wilderness said you could say the same thing about the Aboriginal people. How did they get there? True. Yeah, because they're native to Australia. Those are the natives in Australia, the
Correct.
Aborigines. Yeah.
Now, but they were there to begin with,
Right.
and
Exactly.
so that's basically it's just like the Native American Indians were here in North America, and also the only reason why they called us Indios was because of Christopher Columbus. Because that's what they call they thought that they were from the Indies. So
Right.
so that's what they called us Indians. But we are First Nations. We are the very first people that actually lived in this continent. We're the very first people who lived in North and South America. We are the main people, just like the Aborigines were the main people there. There's no telling how they got there, but they were there. So
Exactly.
and those origin whatever those people are, and sorry I don't know how to pronounce that word right, but over there in Australia, it goes they should have the true history, and they should know something about what's roaming around their world and around their continent, and they should have stories about them. They should contact them first and find out exactly what's going on in Australia, because those are the people that hold the history. Those are the people that hold the stories of that land before Europeans got there.
Right. Exactly. Um. Yeah, just like in North America. Um. Yeah. Look at Canada. Look at Canada's a good example of. If you look at a map of Canada, in the northern part of the northern region of Canada, where it just barely connects to Greenland and everything else up there. All that seems like it was all once it looks like a broken up puzzle piece. Like kind of like if you're looking at the map right, it looks like it's been shattered. It's pretty interesting. And yeah, like they're talking about the First Nations people. I know the Micmac Indians out of Canada. A lot of them originated from Nova Scotia down into Canada, and then settled in. A lot of them settled into Maine
Right.
as well. Uh, which yeah, they were all part of the First Nations people too. Um, hmm. Very cool. Let me get back there. I like looking stuff up sometimes. Dinobot said the Aborigines hop from island to island in Indonesia, from mainland Asia to Australia, from man-made canoes. So that's how the Aborigines got to Australia.
Right, there you go.
So, hold on, there was something else I missed up here. People have been in America for only the last 40 to 50,000 years.
That's not right. That's incorrect, dude. I'm going to tell you why. Because I have actually been in there's this place called Loma Sandia, and I'm gonna prove this point wrong to everybody.
All right, he got up and walked away. I think that's a commercial break.
Here
All right, here
is
he comes.
here is here is a book here that they actually gave me when I actually did the with Lillian Casper and myself. We did the Loma Sandia project, and these Natives Americans out here has been way before to the BC, and I believe it was over 250 250 BC on them, and they had art, and they did, and I have all of their records that they actually kept from the artifacts that they found. And this thing went
Wow.
on. These people were the very first people and in North America for thousands of years. Just about the same time the dinosaurs were here. So they actually found a bunch of bones like that. So we have been here a lot longer than people think that we've been there, especially in the area where they actually did the research. So if you want to learn about it, there's a place called Loma Sandia where they actually did that, and they had some more, and they actually has some more evidence where they could go a lot longer, but they just ran out of funding for it. So, but Native American people have been here a very long time way in the BCs. So,
Well, Baltimore. To me, that would make a lot of sense the way I look at things. And even without you having what you just showed, that documentation, that proof that it. Yeah, there's some. From what I looked into, there's some that actually that came over here at a later date. But yeah, I believe there. Yeah, like you said, there was people already here, and
right. See,
yeah.
yes, sir. And the thing is, again, is that people. I mean, it's like I'm gonna get up. I'm rampant again. That's where the artifacts come in, because the artifacts tell the story exactly how these people lived a long time ago. And this is the way that they did their history, and a lot of stuff has been by word of mouth. And now the only thing that we can study from these people, or just the way they lived, and the artifacts and the tools that they made, and the stuff that are still made out of clay and pottery. And so they, and then with the other carbon testing, because that's what we know exactly how old we were here. So
Hmm. And for the record, everybody, if you're paying attention, Baltimore showed in his possession that he has evidence, documentation, and artifact. He wasn't just telling a story and saying that it's documented evidence. He actually showed something for it.
yeah,
So, in other
see, and
words, he's not a storyteller. He has information. He has data to provide. So, unlike some storytellers out there these days. So,
see, and if they want to see, and they want to see it, they can look up Loma Sandia site number 41 LK 28. So, and this right here is the whole thing about it. And Daniel, can you see that photo there about that pipe there? That's how they smoked their.
oh yeah,
That's how they smoked their stuff they had there. See,
oh wow.
it's not the original pipes that that we actually see people actually smoking, like the little pipes up there, but these are the old original pipes that they used. and they have traded everywhere around North and South America. So, I mean, Native American people have been here in this country, continent for a very, very long time. And
Well, it's just like they think that the Mayans and the Aztecs went up into further into North America than we think.
they did.
You
They went,
know,
yeah, they
they
went to
went up into
Salt Lake City.
yeah, yep. And in my opinion, and I just wrote this in the chat, is that the history books have to change. They have to be rewritten. We've found out new information that contradicts many or much of the history books that we grew up with in the 70s, the 60s, the 70s. Those are obsolete. And some of them haven't changed. Some of the information hasn't changed in there. So it needs to, I think that they need to revamp that. You
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
Christopher Columbus wasn't the first to discover America, you know,
See,
and a
they act
lot of all of that pilgrim stuff is just incorrect. It's
right.
just incorrect. It never happened the way they said. Turkeys was just an American thing that happened. It wasn't, they didn't have turkeys there, you know, they ate fish and deer. That was, venison was their main thing there.
See,
And
see, the thing is also too, you have to think about their again. The only reason why turkey was one put in the main dishes for Thanksgiving was a turkey could feed a lot of people. It's a big bird.
mhm.
But you're 100% right, Nikki. Is that we forget about the wild ducks that they ate and the fish that they ate
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
geese that they ate because you look at the Canadian geese. If you're down over there, Daniel, you live out there. I mean,
Oh
there's thousands
yeah.
of Canadian geese out there, and you could just walk up to them. So that whatever it was in the first Thanksgiving dish was actually deer, like Nikki said. And the fish and stuff like that they
I
actually ate.
think they said deer, fish, and eel or something like that.
Yeah,
Something they pulled out. They could pull out of the uh, right off the coast. So, but I mean, it has to change. I mean, there's evidence. Erickson hit way up there north, and the Vikings, and all of there's evidence. There's evidence of all that, and they're even finding more Viking writings here in the Southwest. Have you heard of that?
I heard of that, and also too that they've been actually finding Chinese anchors off the coast of Mexico.
Oh wow! See,
Oh yeah,
there's just stuff that's different. It's changed. There were more explorers than we were ever led to believe when we were growing up.
that's a part of history. Basically, history is basically his story. That's what history is all about. Is
Mm-hmm.
his story what he actually wrote about.
Mm-hmm.
It could be fact or fiction, and that was the story,
Mm-hmm.
and we just wrote it down as fact.
Mm-hmm.
Is just and but that's the way it is. But the fact speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
Hmm.
does. Ask Baldemar to spell the book Loma Sandia. It is
MA
LOMASANDIA.
right, and that should be in like in Three Rivers, I think it is area, George West area. That they actually were making a highway 37, and that's the way that they came across it. And then they asked for Native American Indian uh, to do a plaque on the highway, and they asked myself and my fiance Lillian Casper to do it. So that's why I know about the story,
Yep.
and it's actually in Live Oak County, Texas,
Hmm.
and that is like maybe like around 30 miles from my house. And once you read those things, they're just totally fascinating.
Mhm.
I think we got all the questions. Any more questions?
Yeah, I like the story. The Leif Erikson story is very interesting. Um, there's not much. There is very little information about the the alleged creatures or the as they explained that they encountered. There wasn't much detail about that. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. So, ECBRO. Hold on one second. I'll read a small part of that. It's on my ECBRO.wordpress.com site.
Hey, Baltimore.
Yeah,
Have you guys found any structures lately?
Nikki. To be honest with you, I haven't even bothered looking. I haven't even had any Bigfoot meetings. I've been so busy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I hear you.
yeah. I mean, structures. Man, Nikki, down over here. Yeah, I know the way it is down over there. I don't know how your oak trees grow down there, but ours they're so long. They have you could go underneath the oak tree and just put some stuff in it, and you could build yourself a excellent shelter, make yourself a
Yeah.
mansion. So
Yeah.
because it's so easy making a house. It would take me possibly like around good 3 hours in order for me to make a good structure for me to sleep in for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But everything depends upon how the structure is made and how permanent you want it. I mean, and the materials is just there in your back door. So the hardest thing is doing it, just cutting it.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see.
Let's see.
There was something I was going to read, but I think it'd be too much to read right now.
What have you
So
found any structures, Daniel?
not entirely recently. The most recent one I found was the one that appeared to be like almost like a teepee type structure. The one there's pictures of me standing in front of it, and I did short videos on it. And in that particular one, on that ridge where I found the same one, about 40, 50 feet away, there was another one that was actually like an X type structure, almost made with a It was almost like an X/slash tripod formation that I found. Like I said, 40 to 50 feet away, up on the ridge where I found the TB structure. Tell you what, let me see if I can pull that up. I'll
Daniel,
try to do a screen share.
yeah, dealing with that. You know what worries me about that, Daniel?
What's that?
That you have people out there, and you and I know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
And there's one thing. They'll could come up there and make these things for you to find them, and then once you find them, they'll stop back and look at the stuff you have and laugh about it, and because they actually could have made it.
Right. Well, what I find fascinating is it's in a particular area that I don't normally go in. It's it's a few miles outside of that area, and it's up behind a certain area that I'm not going to mention out loud. But hold on, here we go. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm not. I'm definitely not going to rule out that it could have been made by a person, but it's just the location where I found this one at.
Right.
All right, here it is, right here. There's one angle of it right there. So
See
Wow, they're
that?
coming from all different directions.
Yes, that's actually something like we would call it an A-frame. That one there, because you have that
now,
hole in the you pull out the main hole in the middle, and
yeah,
they have it shaped like this as just like an A. And then if they actually would have had thing holding it up, you know, it would be totally different, or they would actually have an X together holding the other stuff up. But this up here, you call this an A-frame, uh, 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 an A-frame structure because you got so you basically have this shape. So yeah, so that's an A. I can tell you right now that's an A-shaped frame.
Now the other thing is too. I don't know if you can't tell from this angle, but if you look to the towards the right of that, these trees they do go around. Um, they they go around, and let me see. I'm trying to think because there's a few of these trees that are a lot. Most of these have been placed there, but there is a few like this one here and this long extended one
Right,
that there is actually still rooted in the ground.
right,
That one there got pushed over into there. There's another one over to the far right that's been pushed and broke over, and over to the far left in the back there's another one that's still rooted. So
right.
there's like one, two, three rooted that have been pushed over, and the rest have been added. Trying to think. Let me see if I can get. I know I got a different angle of this. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me try to go back and pull that up.
Brown, Brown Dwarf has amazing structures. You have to go to
Who's
his
that now?
channel. Brown Dwarf, that's on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got some really amazing structures. But he goes right along the coast.
Oh wow,
So some of those structures are all built with driftwood. You know, they
wow.
just they look awesome. Now, I mean, in my opinion, some of them look made by human, but you know, some of them don't. So who knows?
Let's see here. All right.
Loma Sandia.
All right. Here's the one that's next to there. This is the X, what I call a kind of almost like an X slash tripod that I found 40, 50 feet up from the other one. But I'll take you guys through the series of photos right here. All right, there is a little bit up close picture there. Now, if you look right up here, you see where my mouse is right here? Yeah, one of these here, this is actually part of the root ball of another tree that's been placed up top here. So,
So okay, where you have that little thing at, that's where the root ball's at.
yeah, this is one tree that was placed up there with the root balls up against the standing tree.
Daniel, did you
So,
find? Let me ask you this: Did you find anything in? Did you find anything in it?
no, I didn't get inside of it, but as you can see, if you can look right here, none of this has been cleared out. There's like, that's what I'm saying. You would think if a hunter was putting this together, that they would have cleared this out to prevent noise from movement. Now, I know I got a picture of the other side here where there's some branches up against their. I'm pretty sure I. All right, there's the other picture. All right. There's that one again. Come on, I know I got a different angle. Yeah, there we go. That's the part right there. See how those have been added to it?
That's awesome,
Oh,
Daniel. See,
Yeah.
that is awesome. That that's something totally different because
Yeah.
now you have cover.
Right.
well,
Now you
maybe
got
they
So.
started it and they just never finished and they moved on.
that's a
Yeah. Yeah. Good possibility there. Yeah. So.
But would a hunter go through
Um.
all that? Doesn't a hunter usually only do one-sided blinds, you know?
because
Smaller.
it would be you're 100% right. It would be a smaller blind, and we would call those land blinds, and
Yeah.
those would be. But thing is, again, it's like it would be defeating its purpose because it's so big, and then
Yeah.
if you're going to use it as a blind, you have to cover it up unless you put in some camouflage netting on it, like that you won't be seen on it.
Mm,
You know,
right.
if you would actually go up there and get a tarp and put it on there, that would make an excellent structure. But the thing is, what's getting me is where's the cover? Uh, and
Right.
and Nikki, you're 100%, so you're 100% right. Where if it's that because this brown stuff looks like it's probably been dead for not too long because of pine
Yeah.
needles on it. So I'm thinking that they would probably made it and probably got spooked off or ran off, and that's why they didn't complete it.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is too. All right, it wasn't easy for me to climb it because when I seen that, I was down on a trail and up, from down on the bottom of the trail. When I looked up over there, from the distance I was at, it looked like it could have been just an uprooted tree because I have seen things in the distance that looked interesting that caught my eye. I was like, "What the heck is that?" And when you walk up on it, that's usually all it was an uprooted tree or a root ball system or a tree that crashed down and the branches sticking up. But I took the effort to walk through the thick brush and come up the steep hill to come up top of here. And I mean, as I got closer, I saw right away. I said, "Okay, we got something right here." Um, Here's another thing too. If this is a hunter's blind, from the
That's a lot of
way we're,
effort.
yeah, well, yeah, to get up there is the one thing, and then for them to take the time to put this together, the thing is, right in the background, you see all this white looking. That's the little pond that sits back there, and people fish over there. So it wouldn't be safe for them to shoot down in that direction. Here's a different angle of it right here from the side.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on, Daniel.
So
Can you zoom in that a little bit?
I'll try. I can't promise. Let's see if it gives me the option to. Oh, hold on. It's making me click through the pictures here. All right. See, that's where we were. You want this? Hold on. This one here.
Okay. Because the only reason why I say that is
Yeah.
because now you see those. So you have your big old poles going across there, and you
Yeah.
see.
This one right here. This is the other one I was telling you about that was pushed over. It's
Okay.
still root. It's still rooted in the ground. That's the other one that's pushed over right there.
Okay.
And
Okay.
there's a root ball. This one right here is the one with the root balls leaning up against there.
Now
So
show me. You see those little sticks that going across that?
right here. Yep.
Yeah, that
And
little
these.
stick. Yeah, that one right down there. Those are
Yep.
basically your. I call them ribs. If I do a
Yeah.
week, if I do a wiki up, I'm going to have maybe like around 20 to 30 of those wrapped all the way around it. So
Right.
that
That way you can lay your branches on there to cover. Right.
correct.
Yeah.
I yeah
Yeah.
yeah. You could actually see his whoever built it. He was a master of his art when it comes to making a house like that. That's fascinating
Yeah.
because no bear would do that.
Mm-mm.
Now, right here in the live chat, Trevor. Actually, I'm just now looking at the live chat. Trevor makes a good point because he's a hunter. He hunts all the time. He said that would be too much stuff to hit your weapon on and to make noise.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Good job, Trevor.
so, um, yeah. See, and he also before that he also says, personally, if I was to build one, it would have a clear 180-degree view because there's in other areas I have seen hunter blinds in the woods before, and they're usually more or less squared, like a squared off or a triangle. They would take fallen timber like that and usually lay them in a formation, like if you're building a cabin. Like how you stack logs to build a formation. Yeah, most of the time those are the kind I've seen made by hunters. Where it partially covers them, but yet they have a view. So
Daniel, what month did you find that?
this was, um,
I
see, I
think
posted
it's
this back in May,
May.
early May. Yeah,
See, because also too is that that brush structure. I mean, when they put those pine needles up there, maybe that it actually was rested in it like that. The sun, that it could be protected from the sun. But
Right.
it was a lot colder back there in May, correct?
This particular day, well, this particular day I found this, it just got, it was a overcast, rainy day, but it wasn't raining when I went up there. The ground was wet and everything, but it was, it prior to the day, the temperature was fairly decent. It might have been around 60 in the 60s, but to me that's
Right.
comfortable weather. So
Daniel,
let's see what.
I got the date for that Loma Sandia thing, and
Oh, okay.
it was 850 BC. Between it was between let me get it right. It was 550 uh, to 800 BC. 850 BC.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
they said 2,700 years ago.
Wow.
So that's BC's, right? That's like 700, 800 BC.
Let's see. Hold on one second.
Yeah, here it is. It's between 850 BC to 550 BC. So yeah, all right. Yeah, that's what it was.
Hmm.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Let's see.
yeah, Dan. Yeah, that. I'm sorry to get off the subject, but that
Oh no,
structure,
no, you're fine.
yeah, that structure was awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's one of the best ones I found. Well, don't get me wrong. I found other teepee type structures that where the trees are all the things you use were free standing that were leaning, kind of connected at the top. I have some other ones from in the past I found. But that there is one of my most interesting ones I've ever come across.
yeah,
Um, like I said, I have come across other ones that really excited me too. I mean, literally, I found teepee type structures, 3 to 5 miles in the woods. But the thing is, right on the edges of creeks, streams, is usually there's one thing I noticed. There's always a water source nearby when I find them. So, um, so
well,
I don't know if that's a coincidence or what.
because it's one thing that I've always been taught. They always follow the creeks.
Yeah.
If you have something there like that, and you want to make a fast house or a fast home, whatever, that's a perfect thing for it. Uh, have you ever found any structures by streams, like uh,
Well, the teepee
maybe like
structures, yeah.
broken piece of wood or something like that by streams?
You mean
When
like regular tree breaks?
right, it's what I'm talking about. Let's say, for example, you have like sticks like around so big around, like
Oh
laying
yeah.
right in front of it, right in front of
Yeah, absolutely. What was it, a few weekends ago when I went out? I went out for about a few hours, and it was Memorial Day weekend. It was the last time I really got to go out, and I went out by myself. There's a lot of people out there in the area, so I went further up towards the West Virginia side. And there's a trail I know that was up on that end. I said, well, yeah, I got up there. It was well away from everybody, and it's a trail I've hiked numerous times. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go up here, and hike up here because I've heard knocks and vocals in the distance. And last time I was up there, so I went up there and enjoyed enjoyed myself. I found a few different interesting different breaks and tree snaps and a few interesting formations along the way.
wow,
And some of them were fairly fresh, some of them were old. Um, Now, to keep in mind, as you're walking this trail, it's parallel with a really nice stream. And the way that stream also loops around, you actually going up the trail, you cross it like 2 or 3 times.
wow,
And but yeah, and there's other streams. Well, there's been other streams that cross the trail that are also from other runoffs, coming down from the mountain. Um, One thing I did notice that because I did a video on that one. It's on the YouTube here. I forget what I have it titled. Actually, I can tell you now. Give me a second. It was okay. It's only 22 minutes and 4 seconds long. It's called May 25th. Bigfoot's domain. Yeah. So if anybody wants to check that out, that's actually my last time I went on a hike in May 25th. Yes, the hike into Bigfoot's domain. One thing I did observe and to take notice of is keep in mind, like I said, the stream is on one side, about 20-30 feet from the trail. In some spots it's a little further away. But on the other side of the trail, if you go through the woods, it's almost flat. It goes uphill, and then there's a ridge up there. Now, one thing I noticed, and I kept hearing coming from somewhere on top of the ridge. I didn't really think much of it going in, but I heard it more coming out. I've heard constant tree snaps and limb snapping. There was no wind. It was a warm, kind of muggy day, slightly humid. And but yeah, it was quiet, and I kept hearing snaps and tree limbs, and at one point when I was stopped, I heard what the way I described them were like thump knocks, like you could hear boom 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 boom. They weren't knocks, but they were like more like a thump sound. Coming from on top of the ridge. I was like, what the heck is that? I'm well away from everybody, and just to hear that was kind of weird. So yeah, it was interesting, to hear that. But and like I said, I found a lot of different interesting formations along the way. So, and of course, some of those tree breaks, I will tell you, I could clearly tell you they were bear. There was a lot of bear sign up through there too. Because that's one big bears. I'm very acquainted with their sign track. It's either track. The only other tracks I seen up there were horse tracks. People go horseback riding on there on the trail. So, so tell you what, you guys, I don't want to run too late tonight, because we had a slight interruption there with our first thing there. You guys have any last things you guys want to throw out there before we call it a night?
I don't know.
Okay. It's funny.
There's a lot of stuff I'd love to talk about, but I've kind of sworn off of things. So
yeah,
I just it's all good.
I know there's some
Anybody
things
heard any good rumors lately?
Yeah.
Oh,
Anybody?
yeah.
Hey, I'll start. Now let me stop. Oh Lord. Maybe save that for another podcast on a different channel.
Yeah.
Or maybe an offline
That'll
discussion.
be a good one to do when the conference is over and you're settled after your camp out and everything. That could be a good first one to come back
Oh,
to.
that would be that.
You
Excellent.
know,
Excellent.
Yeah. Very
wrapping
interesting.
up everything that's happened and then kind of do
Oh,
like
sure.
that. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to remind everybody, coming up June 29th in Waynesboro, Virginia, is the annual ECBRO Virginia Bigfoot Conference. Come on out. The address for that event is 109 Apple Tree Lane in Waynesboro, Virginia. The venue is the Best Western Plus. It's right next to Cracker Barrel. If you want any other information, go to our Facebook event page. It's the ECBRO Annual Virginia Bigfoot Conference. You can find all the information you need right there, and you can message me through there as well. And if you have any other questions, you can send an email, ecbro98@gmail.com. So we're definitely looking forward to that event. We encourage you to come out, bring your family. Children are free. Children 17 and under are free. I know mostly here is what 12 and under. Well, we're doing this at a much broader age range here because we want people to be able to afford to come to these events. Um, because it's for the awareness. It's we want you to come. It's fun, entertaining, and educational. And there'll be several vendors there and a lot to learn from. A lot of interaction. You'll be able to speak with, talk and interact with the speakers, and you'll be able to meet Sasquatch himself. So, and not to mention the children's Bigfoot calling contest. So, and the adults will
Cool.
have their chance to participate in that as well. So, yeah, I
Hey,
definitely wanted to throw that out there. All right,
Daniel,
what's up, Bubba?
let me say something about your conference.
Yes.
Last year, last year, when I was there, and just talking with these kids, to me, and even the adults, for me, also too, was talking to these kids that were totally fascinating. If you
Oh
and
yeah.
we spent, I spent as much time as I possibly can with them. There's sometimes they came back to my booth many a times, and we just swapped back and telling Bigfoot stories and everything like that. And then and even though they're a little shy and stuff like that, as researchers, we have to come up there and just open them up a little bit more, let them get a little bit more comfortable, like that they could tell their stories and why they are fascinated about Bigfoot. So yeah, I mean, those kids were fascinating last year.
Awesome. Yeah. I know when I had a chance to hang around my booth when I wasn't running around all over the place. I had the opportunity to speak to several people myself, and it was very fascinating. It was awesome that the children, were actually interacting because I know that the families that came by with their kids, it's like you could sense that the parents were asking through the children, and so when the children actually ask the questions and you're trying to reply and respond to them, knowing that the kids are asking, but yeah, you could tell the parents are like they want to know, so
Exactly. Yep.
you know
Oh
so
yeah.
it's like you're trying to respond and you're trying to explain as clear as possible so both the child themselves and the adult will understand how you're trying to explain something. So
Right.
but yeah, it was exciting. I really liked that. That was encouraging as well. So
Oh, for sure.
yeah, so we welcome everybody to come on out there and don't be shy. There's nothing to be shy about there. So um so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. It's been a while since we've done one of these. We hope to come back here um, soon in the near future, maybe right before the event itself. So, and there you go. You got a little jingle music here towards the end as our closeout goes from Baltimore's cell phone.
Uh,
So, again, thank you guys again. Check out our Facebook page, give us a like, and if you have not done so, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the little bell icon too. That way, when we go live, you guys will get the notification. So, and if
hit
you have
that like
questions,
button.
absolutely, and if you have questions, write them down, bring them to us next time. We'll try our best to respond to them. And if we missed any tonight, we do apologize. Sometimes we get into talking about a lot of things. We'll go from one topic to another. Our discussions are very random, but that's how we go. So, um, but again, thank you guys. You guys have a good night, and we're out.